morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I'm working on and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is Sunday, December 29th. So this is going to be my very last regular FlossTube for 2019. And if this is your first time coming to my channel, then welcome. I'm so glad that you found me. If you are a returning subscriber, then welcome back. And I am so glad that you are here. I woke up this morning, I have a little bit of a gravelly throat, and I'm a little sniffly, so please forgive me if that comes out. If I have to grab a tissue or drink my little lemonade that's right here. Just bear with me on that. I feel fine. I just, all of a sudden I was like coffee and gravelly, and you know, I think it's the weather. It's the fact that the seasons are changing or have changed or whatever. But anyway, welcome to my channel. I'm really excited to be here today. As I said, this is going to be the last regular FlossTube, regular weekend Sunday FlossTube of 2019, because we're almost at the end of the year, almost at New Year's Eve. And tonight is the 8th night of Hanukkah, so we will be lighting the entire menorah, and it will be beautiful. I've had a really busy week. I'm assuming that a lot of you have, just with the holidays and the end of the year hoopla. So I am no exception. I had to work Monday, Tuesday, got off work Tuesday, and I uploaded my my end of the year whip parade on Tuesday, and I have had a lot of really positive response to that, so thank you. I'm glad that you guys liked it. It was fun to do. It was great for me too, because because of doing that, I kind of rediscovered a pattern that, I mean, I knew I had it, but it just made me want to stitch it, so I've been stitching that this week. And then Wednesday, because everybody had the day off, that's the day that we got together for our little Hanukkah gathering with my brother and his family. And that was fun, and I so enjoyed giving my niece and nephews their presents. That's, I think, the funnest part, is watching kids open their presents. They gave me a little set of very glittery D&D dice, which was kind of a really cute symbolic gift, because it just shows that they're really happy that I am playing that game with them about once a month or every other week or so. They're still playing, you know, with my brother on the weeks that I'm not there, but then they kind of let me know what happened, and my character becomes a non-playing character during those weeks, but then when I'm there, obviously, I play. And the kids are really enjoying it. It makes me feel really good to know that my niece and nephew are very happy to have me there, and those dice were kind of a symbol of that. I had been talking about, oh, I want my own dice, instead of, you know, the ones my brother has had for 30 years. I have my own set now, and they're sparkly, they're full of glitter and multicolored glitter, and they're very Aunt Karla. So I like that they thought of that and went with my brother online to pick them out. Let's see, Thursday and Friday had to work again, but then Friday night we went out again so that my mom could be included in a little Hanukkah celebration, and so they came down more to where she and I live, and we went out to this old spaghetti factory, which I don't know how many locations there are. There are a couple in California. I don't know if there are anywhere else, but it's just really good, you know, spaghetti in restaurant. And then yesterday, which is Saturday, was my niece's 10th birthday, so I met them for another celebration and more presents for her, and it was fun. So here we are on Sunday, and then of course tomorrow I have to go to work. Tuesday I have to go to work, but I'm sure I'll be an early day, and then we're at New Year's Eve. And my New Year's Eve plans are to kind of have something kind of fun to nosh on. I haven't decided what yet I want to eat. And I'm going to be starting my Hilde, the Village Bookstore on Tuesday night. So I'm excited. I may do like a little video Tuesday on kind of leading up to setting up that Hilde. I'm not sure yet, but I may do that. So that was my week, and it was busy and fun, and you know, my apartment's still a mess. That's okay. I just got an email I thought I would share with you guys. I just got an email from Sharon Littlefield, who's one of my subscribers, and she's one of the people that asked to stitch my Tikkun Olam pattern. And she said that she just finished it. She sent me a picture of it, which was very exciting. She stitched it with like a dark blue for the letters, which is great because that's the intent, is to stitch what makes you happy. She did say that there was a mistake in the pattern on one of the K's, and once she said that, I remembered that I saw that myself when I was stitching it, and I forgot to change the pattern when I sent it to her. So anybody else that I sent the pattern, they are supposed to be the same. So that's what they're supposed to look like. One of them's correct, one of them I think is missing a stitch. Anyway, adjust to your own liking. But I was really excited to see that from her, so thank you, Sharon. I'm glad that you shared that with me. Okay, so let's get started on this very last week. Oh, okay, so regarding my whip parade that I did last week, I realized, of course, after I did it and published it and everything, that I actually left out a whip, which was the one that I have been keeping in my purse, my, travel project. I also realized, once I discovered that one again, that I need to change out my travel project. The one I've been using is, it's a Mill Hill kit, which I actually really like as a travel project, but, okay, I'm going to have dropsies today, I can tell. But it's this one, Moonstruck, and I love this. It's so pretty, but it's on the black perforated paper, and it's just, and then there's a lot of like black on the tree and stuff like that. It's not a good project to have out in questionable light, when you don't know what the light's going to be. It's just a little bit too hard to see. And so I think that I need to figure out something in the next week or so to change out for this. I don't know if it will be a different Mill Hill, or if I will pick some small pattern that I have in my stash to put in here. It doesn't get worked on a lot, obviously, because I only do it, in sporadic moments where I'm sitting somewhere. And so yeah, but I do need to change this out. I just don't think that this is working for me as a travel project. So, after I did my whip parade, I was sitting at work, and I thought it would be fun for me, for my own education, as well as to tell you guys kind of my stats for the year as far as how many projects I started and how many I finished, etc. So I went ahead and did a sheet, and it turns out that in 2019 I did 38 starts. The very first thing I started was the cat tote, which as I explained, I think in my very first video, I got a kit. It was a plastic canvas kit for my mom, and I got it for her like in January-ish. It was, at the holiday time, but it wasn't for the holidays. And she didn't want to do it. She didn't think that she had the skill, which is pretty funny when you consider that now she's stitching. But at the time, she didn't think that she would be able to do it. And she asked me to still do it for her. And I started that sometime in February, and I worked on it for about a month or so, just a little bit at a time. Realized I liked it and decided to order a small needlepoint kit and a small kind of cross-stitched kit to see if I liked it. So I got those, I think March 10th was when I got the first one, or started the first one, and here I So anyway, so I started 38 projects in 2019. I had 22 finishes of those 38. 11 of those 22 things were projects that I did for other people. And so I am left with 16 whips. That whip count is going to increase quite a bit in the next month or so, because I know I'm starting for sure about 4 or 5 projects, definitely. And then there's others that I know that I'm starting over the course of the year. But I want to keep the momentum going to do finishes as well, because I'm okay with the number of whips that I have, and I'm okay with increasing that number a little bit, but I am not okay with having just a bunch of starts and no finishes. I'd also like to say that the finishes that I did, those 22 finishes were all fully finished, so I don't have anything at this time that's sitting around finished but not fully finished. So I think that that was pretty good for a year. Yeah, so those are my stats. It was fun to go back and try and remember everything that I'd done. You know, some of them were tiny projects. I counted the 2 It's You I Likes that I did. And I had made a couple little pillows, little tiny sachet type pillows that I gave as gifts. I counted those because those are projects. Those were tiny projects. And I had a couple big ones too. I had, you know, my red kitten was a big project. The In This House that I gave to my brother was a fairly large project. And then I had some medium ones all in between and everything. So I think I did a good job this year, and I'm happy. You know, I do have some bigger projects that are, you know, obviously still whips. But I think that's fairly normal to have some bigger things that are multi-year projects. So, so I've got 16, and there'll be more next week. Okay, so on to my regular thing. Usually I show finishes. I don't have any finishes of my own, but I do have one to show of my mom. So since I am now her finisher, anything that she gets that she completes is going to come here to me, so I'll be able to show it to you guys. So this is her second finish of the year. And she did this. This is on a Tula, so it's like a 10 count. I think this is one of the fabrics that my friend Tracy found at the craft reuse place. It's really pretty. It's got like a gold thread running through it. My mom said it was very different working on this than the other one, the other Aida that I got her, which was very stiff. This is a very kind of soft, floppy. So, you know, she had to adapt her technique just like we all do. But, oops, I'm folding this funny. So this is going to be made into another sort of sachet pillow. And I think this one is going to her occupational therapist. And then she's got another one she's working on that's going to go to somebody else. So I just got her as her Hanukkah gift from 1-2-3 Stitch. They had a bunch of little Riolis kits that were meant for beginners, or they're not, I mean, it says for kids or beginners, but they're not completely juvenile patterns. They're just a little bit more simple. There's some animal, well, I think they're all animals actually. No, there was one that I got her that was a strawberry. But I thought it would be kind of cool to get her those kits, because the ones I got all come with 10 count Aida, so it's got the size Aida that she can work on. But in addition, they have, instead of a stranded cotton or a pearl cotton like what she's been working on so far, they have that acrylic and wool thread. So it'll be a different fiber for her to work with and see if she likes. So I got her 6 little kits. They were all on sale. They were all under like $4. So so she's really excited to start those. You know, and it'll make it a little bit easier just because everything's in there. So that is the finish to show you my mama's. Okay. Excuse me. So, whips, I didn't do a lot this week because it was just such a busy week. I did work on the moonstruck that I just showed you. I worked on this last night. You guys haven't seen this one in a really long time, so here's the picture again. And then I worked on... Okay. So I worked on the black here a little bit, and a little bit of these stitches up in here, but mostly I did the black. And of course, working using my good light and everything, it still was hard to see the black on black, which does make me realize that I need to switch this out for a different travel project. Oops. Okay, I worked on my secret stitching, which is my second design thing. So I can't show you that, but I'm excited about it. I don't know exactly how to put together patterns in order to sell them, even though that's something I would like to do eventually. I just really don't know. I don't know how to set them up for PDF so that you can buy them on Etsy. That's something I guess I'm going to have to either try and figure out, or see if I can take a class, or see if somebody can school me. So I know that there are some people like, Michelle Garrett, she has her IT department. I don't have an IT department. I don't even have a regular computer or printer at home. I have a Chromebook, and, and I print stuff at work. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Hopefully, eventually I will be able to do that and be able to share stuff that I create. But for right now, with the Tikkun Olam, I'm actually giving that one away. So anybody who wants it, just let me know. And any future ones, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll be able to figure that out eventually and be able to share things that I create. But for right now, I'll just be able to show it to you guys and see what the response is, I guess. Okay, so I worked on the secret stitching, and the Sweet William. So this is the one that when I showed it in my whip parade, I pulled it out and I was like, I kind of missed stitching on this. So this is the Riolis Kit Sweet William. And I worked on this actually a couple days this past week. This is how far I am. So last time you guys saw it, and actually in the whip parade when you saw it, all this was done. I finished, there's some green over here that hadn't been completed, so I finished that. And over here, the flowers, these two full flowers have been done, but all of this is new. And all of this green. Well, no, green might have been there. A little bit of the green I had to do. But all of this start on the second clump of flowers. That's what I worked on. I really like the colors in this. I like working with the different kind of floss. Occasionally, it's kind of nice. And then the last thing that I did a little bit on this week was my classic Pooh. And I worked on the black. I wanted to get a little bit more done in Pooh Bear's outline. So he's kind of emerging. You can see his nose now. That wasn't there before. And as I've mentioned, this has kind of become my project that is good to take with me as a travel project, not to leave in my purse, but if I'm going someplace and I know, like when I go to my brother's. Only because I don't need to pull up pattern or anything if I'm just doing the fill-in on the balloon or the Pooh Bear. So, so that's easy to work on when I'm in a more, a place, you know, where I don't have my whole setup. It's easy to work on that at my brother's house, because normally when I work at home, I use clips and I clip the pattern, and, you know, and it's a little bit more awkward, I guess, which is fine when I'm by myself, but when you're out with other people, you know, you want it to be just a little bit more free and easy. So that that has become the project that I take with me, because then I can just fill in the blue or the brown color. Okay. So that's all I worked on this week. Again, it was a busy week. Excuse me. I've been drinking a lot of Bai lately. Good flavors and everything. Let's see. Okay, haul. Now, next year, most of the haul, well, all of the haul that I have, I've been able to get because I did get a bit of a bonus at work for the holidays. And, of course, that isn't going to continue, so I do have to cut back on any spending. So I'm not going to have very much haul to show you going forward. Maybe a little bit. I have this that I'm going to show you today. Was a couple purchases, and then I have a couple more things that I ordered that I haven't gotten yet. I ordered a couple Mill Hill kits that I've wanted for, you know, the past year. I did order them from Amazon. They're a bit cheaper with the Prime than 1-2-3 Stitch, and I didn't have to pay shipping. And since I wasn't in any rush to get them, because they actually weren't with Prime, you just got the free shipping. I didn't care if they came like next week or whatever. So I did order those. Those are still coming. And then I just put in a 1-2-3 Stitch order for some DMC floss to finish kitting up the Star Trek pattern that I'm going to be doing. I kitted it up and realized that I was missing like 12 colors of DMC. Despite the fact that I have a huge amount of DMC, I still was missing those colors. And I decided that it would just be easier to buy some DMC floss than to try and go and figure out what color it is and pick a substitute. And I didn't want to deal with that. So I just bought some DMC floss, and I think I got one pattern while I was on there. But that's going to be it for a while. Unless there's a really great deal on something, or if I can do some swaps with somebody. Yeah, or if anybody wants to send me any patterns, I'll be happy to accept them. But I do have a little bit of haul over the last, from the last 1 weeks. The first thing is I got this, I won an auction on eBay. This is not super cheap, but it's a Kreinik gold kit or gold collection, so it's all the different sizes of Kreinik, and I was kind of excited to get this. My secret stitching has some gold thread in it, and it's important that that thread be there, so I was excited to get some different options to replace stuff I already have. And so I got that. I know a lot of people don't like Kreinik. I am not having a problem with it at this point. I really enjoy the sparkle that it gives. So, okay, I put in an order. Oh gosh, I can't remember the Etsy shop now. But okay, I needed some corn husk. This is the Gentle Arts corn husk. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I don't know. I mean, I know that they go in and out of fashion and people run out, whatever, but I don't know what was the deal with corn husk, but I couldn't find it. It wasn't on DMC. I mean, it wasn't on 1-2-3 Stitch. It wasn't on I couldn't find corn husk. You know, I looked at eBay that people have like all the greens. Corn husk was sold out. And the reason that I needed corn husk was because I am using the Call for Gentle Art Samplers threads in my Froth and Bubble. Corn husk is one of the colors. It needed two skeins, so I had one that I was using, and then I had the backup one. Well, when I put together the Spring Fling project, Brenda Gervais with Dye Needle and Thread that I'm working on, the color of the internal color of the leaves was supposed to be corn husk, and I kitted that project up with, you know, whatever I had. I used substitutions, but the substitution that I chose for the corn husk just wasn't working for me. It was kind of the same sort of greeny, yellowy greeny color, but it just didn't work with the rest of the threads that I had chosen, and the corn husk looked really good. So I stole the extra corn husk from my Froth and Bubble because I wasn't using it at the time, but I knew I needed to replace it. So I've been looking to replace it, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then I finally found it on Etsy shop, which I'm sorry I don't remember which one it is, but I finally found it. So I got 2 skeins of corn husk, and since I was getting stuff, I looked what else she had for good price, and I like this Plum Street Clementine, so I decided to go ahead and get that. And then the big eBay purchase that I did was a lot of Gentle Arts. I think there's 50. And I got these for under $1 a skein, which is way less than the normal price. And Gentle Arts has become my second overdyed company that I've been using, and I think I'm pretty much sticking to that. I'm sticking to the Needle Necessities, which Threadworx is not called for very much in any pattern, so I end up just pulling things that I like for that. But Gentle Arts is used a lot, and so I was happy to have a big variety of Gentle Arts. If pattern is called for weeks or color and cotton, I've substituted with something else that I've had. And usually I can find something pretty similar. But there's some really popular colors that I ended up getting in here, so I'm excited to have them. I know there's a Cinders in here that's called for a lot. And anyway, so I do like the Gentle Arts, so I was glad to get a nice big lot of it. In this, there was not a corn husk, so that's why I still had to get corn husk. There's like 3 or 4 other greens, but no corn husk. So that was my haul for this week. And let's see. Okay. Yeah, so I'm sure that I will still, you know, I will need to replenish like supply type stuff, some finishing, like the little mini pom-poms. If I run out of those, I'm going to need to get those. One thing I do want to try in the set that I've shown you before that I got from Amazon that have 5 different colors, there's a very light blue and there's a white. I might keep the white as is, but the light blue is such a light blue that I don't really like it. I want to try and dye those pom-poms. I mean, I've been dyeing fabric, and in fact, I dyed a piece of fabric for my Tree of Butterflies, and I like it, but it's not going to work for and it's completely wrinkled. So I wanted to do kind of one of those two-tone things where it's like you almost have like the earth base, and then but I put too much like yellow. This became too green, and I want to do kind of like the same thing where this is just more of a plain blue. I got too fancy with it, and then more of a tan at the bottom. So I'm going to do another piece like this. This one I like, as I said, but it's not going to work for the project that I did it for. So I need to get this ironed, and then I'll stick it in my stash. What was I saying? Oh, I want to try and dye the pom-poms. I don't know if that will work. So I might just start with like a small piece and see what happens. I mean, excuse me, I know they'll dye. I'm pretty sure that they'll take the dye. What I just don't know is when they dry, if they're going to look good and still be like fluffy pom-poms, or if they're going to, you know, look, I don't know, like drowned rats. Because I don't want to put little drowned rats around a pillow. So, but that's something that I'm anxious to try. I mean, I know that people, you know, you'll get kits and it'll say, you know, hand-dyed trim. So obviously it's possible to hand-dye trim. I just don't know if I can do it. So that's something that I want to try. And of course, if I do, and if it's successful, or even if it's not successful, I'll share it with you guys. So yeah, so I'll probably be buying trim and stuff like that. Every time I turn my head, I'm noticing the lights going in and out. It's kind of a little bit gloomy today, and it's still early. So I try and do, as you know, I try and do my filming in the morning with my blinds open so that I'm getting natural light. But yeah, but we're gonna have to deal with the whims of the sun out today. Okay, so beginning in January, January is full of plans, and new starts, and so, January 1st, I'm going to be starting the Village Bookstore, Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm going to be doing it 10th stitch on 20 count Aida. I'm really excited to start that. That I am kind of doing a stitch along with Nicole Reed of Darvana Lee Design Studios, and so the hashtag for that, Sal, because please join in if you're starting a Heaven and Earth design pattern for the new year, then please join in with us, and you know, it'll be fun to see everybody's projects growing on an Instagram post, Instagram tag. So the tag is going to be hashtag New Hade 2020 Sal. And I also have another kind of endless Sal going for Hades that have any kind of cat in them. So that one is hashtag Love Hade Cats Sal. Also, there's a New Year, new project, and I don't know if that's a Sal or a hashtag, but you know, so this one's gonna, this Village Bookstore is gonna fit into all those tags. So I'm gonna put, when I post pictures, I'm gonna just tag it up. Let's see what else. Oh, the Suffrage Act, we're starting that one in January. This is such a great pattern, and this is, you know, the perfect time to do it because it's the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage. Suffrage Act Proclaimed. This is by Little House Needleworks. And so this is starting anytime in January, and then the goal is to finish it by November of this year. And this is a Sal that's kind of being hosted by Stitching with the Sisterlies. So the tag is hashtag SWTS Suffrage. So Stitching with the Sisterly Suffrage. And I am going to be doing this. I kitted it up with mostly Gentle Art Needle Necessities. I have a couple Needle Necessities really variegated flosses here that I might use. I might use for these stars, because I have decided to kind of go outside the box and stitch this on a piece of Under the Sea Fabrics that is this really pretty mottled blue called Mermaid Sea. So it might be different than everybody else's. I think it'll still work. I think that the big white dress is going to really look pretty on this. So we'll see what happens. You know, I like to play with the color. Sometimes it's super successful. Sometimes maybe not so much, but it still makes me happy to stitch that way. No, that's the whole point, right? So I'm not like super excited stitching on plain neutral colors. So, and I checked, all these colors look good on there. And even the blue doesn't really blend in that much unless, you know, because it's modeled, there's certain areas that it blends in more. I don't think that that's a problem unless you have like the stars where they're not showing up at all. So that's why I have those choices of those other variegated ones. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited about that. Then I'm going to be starting my Star Trek pillow in January. This is for my brother, and I have, it's actually 4 patterns that I got on Etsy from Fangirl Stitches. Yeah, Fangirl Stitches. And it's all 4 of the casts in the same style. So this is the original, and then Next Generation is right here. And anyway, so I'm going to put them on like one under the other on pillow, and I'm using, I'm just using the Called For DMC. Although, as I said, I'm missing a bunch, so those are on the way. And I'm using, again, a piece of Under the Sea Fabrics in Magic Mirror. Magic Mirror, is that what it's called? Looking Glass. Close. So that will be another project for my brother that I'm starting for 2020. Possibly to get done by his July birthday, but if not, then for next year at Hanukkah. And what else is happening? Oh, I'm going to be working on, sorry, my new friend Jules on Moonshine Craft Cast is her channel name. She's having a sale in January because it's her birthday, and I am a big proponent of doing those birthday sales with people at least one day so you can get it in and support their birthday, and it's a way to say happy birthday to my virtual friends. But she's very into like more of the horror creepy stuff, and so her birthday sal is hashtag creepy New Year sal. She's also a knitter, so she's doing a cowl, so she's also doing a creepy New Year cowl, but I'm not a knitter, so I'm not doing that. And I thought about it because I don't really have any like creepy stitching. You know, that's not my aesthetic. However, I do have this pattern from the Witchy Stitcher, that I am not a social butterfly. I'm an antisocial bat lurking in the darkness, and I'm stitching this for my my stepdaughter. And I'm doing it really tone on tone, and with the purple and the blacks and everything. I think that this fits, Jules, don't you? So yeah, so I'm going to be stitching on this in honor of Jules in January. And I think that's it. Looking at my notes, I don't have anything else listed other than to wish you guys a totally happy New Year. I hope that you spend New Year's Eve doing whatever you love doing. I heard that the reason that we kiss on New Year's Eve at the stroke of midnight is because it's like a symbol. It's symbolic of the fact that we should have the best thing, or the thing that we love doing, kissing a loved one, be the first thing, so that happens all year. And I don't have a significant other right now to kiss, so I'll be snuggling my cat at midnight, and I will be putting in my first stitches on my new Village Bookstore Hilde. So at midnight, I will be doing something that I love and that I want to be doing all year. So that is how it works. I also have a little, this is a personal tradition that I started a couple years ago. I don't even know if I heard it from somebody else or whatever, but I thought it was kind of cool. And it's kind of like you write down your wishes for the new year on slips of paper, and then you put them in a ashtray or something, and then at midnight you go outside and you light them on fire and you let the smoke go up to the heavens, so that your wishes will come true. Let's see, other traditions. My Filipino boss and my friend say that you eat round food, like grapes or something like that. Maybe I'll get olives. That should work too. So you eat round foods, and you put a jar of coins by a window on New Year's Eve, and that will help bring wealth into your life. So if you have any little traditions like that that are supposed to be good luck for the new year, you know, I mean, I'm not superstitious or anything like that, but I still think it's fun. Let me know. Let me know the little traditions that you have for New Year's Eve. I would love to hear about those. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week next week, and then that we don't have that big letdown after the holidays. That happens sometimes too, but I'm excited to go forward with all of my January stitching and stuff, so hopefully there's not going to be a letdown there, because I do have exciting things that are happening going forward. And then in February I'm doing my Sal, I'm doing Gathering Honey by the Blue Flower. The Sal is a hashtag Be My Own Valentine Sal, with the B, B-E-E, like the little buzzy guy. And I'm hoping people will join in with me on that. It doesn't have to be that same pattern, but anything that has to do with bees, or even loving yourself, because it's all part of the symbolism of that pattern for myself. Anyway, I've gotten really rambly here at the end, but basically I just want to say that I hope everybody has a very happy new year, and a happy new year in 2020. I hope 2020 brings everybody happiness and prosperity and health and all the good stuff. So in the meantime, I just want to say that I love you guys, and you guys have really made this year a great year for me, and stitching and the stitching community, and a lot of good things have happened to me in the last several months. So, and for that I'm very grateful. So this is Karla. You are watching my channel, KarlaBeingCrafty. I hope you continue to do that into the new year. And in the meantime, always remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. Thanks everybody. Happy New Year.